Good morning. So I thought we would, I thought we might have some coffee together and talk about how to read a weaving draft. Um, Weaving drafts totally blew my mind when I started weaving, and I was, I scrolled through Pinterest and I was looking at patterns and like how to figure this out. And because before I had a floor loom, I used a rigid heddle loom, and that's easy because it's just slots and holes, right? It's just basically a 2-shaft loom. And so half the threads are going up and half the threads are going down, and then you switch them. And that's super simple to figure out. But then with a 4-shaft draft, I was like, oh, I don't know how to read this. And it was really hard for me to find information on how to read a weaving draft. So let's do that now. I'm going to show you a couple of resources that I will refer to occasionally. This book is called The Green Book, and it is basically the weaver's Bible. It has probably thousands of patterns for a 4-shaft loom. This is strictly written for a 4-shaft loom. It is a very old book, and I'm going to tell you, whatever resource you have, read it. Like, actually read the beginning chapters that will tell you, hey, this book is written for, in fact, this book is written for a sinking shed loom. Now, I might be using vocabulary that you don't understand, and I will do a separate video on weaver's vocabulary because it really does have its own language. The purpose of a draft, which is written on a grid like these, was that it transcended language barriers. So weavers across the world can look at the draft and figure out how to weave something, because it didn't require language. It was a graph. So when you get a resource book, read the beginning of the book, because it's going to tell you this particular book is written for a sinking shed loom. Some books are written for a rising shed loom. We're going to talk more about that in just a second. So, and then I also have the Hand Weaver's Pattern Directory. This is by Ann Dixon. It is a newer book. It is also an excellent weaving resource for beginning weavers. It does not talk much about the design process. Like, there's some math and all that kind of stuff that you have to figure out, you have to learn. And I'm pretty much self-taught, so that came naturally to me, but I'm coming to understand that not everyone can do that. So look forward to a designing series in the future where I'm going to teach you how to take a draft from a book like this or from this one, and I'm going to teach you how to design your own projects. So for now, let's talk about how to read a weaving draft, okay? Okay, a lot of the questions that I get is, how do we read the weaving draft? Do we read it right to left? Do we read it left to right? Is it top to bottom? How do we read it? So I'm going to start by showing you the components of a weaving draft. Please bear with me. I am holding my phone while I take this, so it might be a little shaky. Always start by looking for this box in a weaving draft. This is your tie-up box. This tells you that treadle 1 is tied up to 4 and 1, and treadle 2 is tied up to shafts 1 and 2, treadle 3 is 2 and 3, treadle 4 is 3 and 4. Okay, I actually usually write my drafts like this. To me, this is the way it makes the most sense. I don't know why, but I write and read my weaving drafts from the tie-up box out. So even if I was reading this one, from the tie-up box, I would read left to right. If it's this one, this configuration, then I read it from the right to the left. This is always your starting point. So right here where the two converge like that, that is shaft 1. This is shaft 2, shaft 3, shaft 4. This is treadle 1, treadle 2, treadle 3, and treadle 4. Up here, it's the opposite, because you start at the convergence right here. So you have treadle 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have shaft 1, 2, 3, and 4. You always start where the intersection is. when I'm reading the treadling, I read from the top to the bottom. Down here, we're going to treadle 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, and start again with the 1, 2, 3, 4, on and on and on. In fact, if this was written correctly, this 1 would not be here, and this 1 would not be here. So it would just have like a little squiggly thing that would show you that that's a repeat. Now there are books like in the Handweaver's Pattern Directory, and it'll show you, it starts reading from the bottom, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then gives you the little repeat symbol. So just read the beginning of your books to figure out how a particular book is written. For my patterns, when you download those from my website, you're going to read like this. You're going to read from the top to the bottom on the treadling and from the right to the left on the threading, okay? So what is a sinking shed versus a rising shed? Think of, if you download a pattern and you don't know if it's written for a sinking shed or a rising shed, look for X's. X's are anchors, right? Anchors drop. Somebody drops an anchor on the boat, it goes down. So that's written for a sinking shed, okay? This one has circles. Circles are balloons, right? Balloons rise. So this is written for a rising shed loom. Why does it matter? It doesn't, except that in some patterns, it looks different from the front side to the back side. And so the fabric is the same. It's just going to be upside down on your loom. So if you have a sinking shed loom, which means when you press the pedals, the shafts go down, that's a sinking shed loom. If when you press the pedals, the shafts rise, they go up, that is a rising shed loom. But the book you're reading should tell you how the patterns are written, okay? So that's a good look at how to read patterns. When you're threading, this says to thread your first thread on 1, the next one on 2, the next one on 3, the next one on 4, then 3, then 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, and starting again with the 1. So that's a good way, a good look at beginning to understand weaving drafts. Okay, join me for the next segment and we will talk some more about the weaving vocabulary.